And welcome. Thank you for joining me in chapter number 101 of the Quran. We are now busy with a powerful chapter which reminds us of the day of judgment, as we saw one of the earlier chapters known as Al-Haqqa, the sure reality. And this one is Al-Qari'ah, the day of noise and clamor. Please don't delay. Get your copy of the Quran today so you will know precisely and exactly what happens on the day of judgment, why it happens, and what is going on that particular day. It explains it in precise and beautiful and vivid imagery as well. So please don't delay. Get your copy of the Quran today. The Quran is the gold standard. The Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The day of noise and clamor. What is the day of noise and clamor? And what will explain to you what the day of noise and clamor is? It is a day whereon mankind will be like moths scattered about. So the day of judgment, there will be terrifying scenes where people will be running helter-skelter, this way, that way, not knowing what is going on. Those who denied this day will be in terrified fear, like the atheists and the rejectors of truth and so on. So it will be a day where the entire cosmos as we know it, the skies above will crack, the oceans will boil over, there'll be earthquake upon earthquake upon earthquake, not in one area but around the entire planet. The entire planet will be shaking. And not like a small tremor, like a 6 or 7 or a 9 on the Richter scale. This will be like 100 on the Richter scale or 1,000 on the Richter scale, and people will be absolutely terrified. And the mountains will be like carded wool. Then he whose balance of good deeds will be found heavy, then of course on the day of judgment your book of deeds will be weighed. Those whose book of deeds are nice and heavy will be given the book of deeds in their right hand and will go into paradise by the grace and mercy of Allah. Those whose book of deeds are very light, or on the other hand, the corollary of that is, if their evil deeds are worse than the good deeds, then they get the book of deeds in their left hand and they go to hell, right? So then he whose balance of good deeds will be found heavy will be in a life of good pleasure and satisfaction. But he whose balance of good deeds will be found light will have his home in a bottomless pit. And what will explain to you what this is? It is a fire blazing fiercely. So please remember, as a belief man, so don't delay. The Quran is telling us in precise and explicit detail what is happening on the day of judgment, and that the day of judgment is a guarantee, and we should not listen or be fooled by the media. We should not be listen to the false information given by Charles Darwin or the evolutionists and the atheists who think that or the scientists who say, as far as quantum physics is concerned, we are simply balls of energy and will return to energy, and there's no such thing as life after death. These are the same people, very sadly, who will be in a state of great shock on that great day, because they will suddenly find that their entire body has been brought back to life again, and all that they've done on the planet Earth, all the deeds will start to be weighed. The people who suffered with silence, or those who are praying, having zikr of Allah, because remember, the remembrance of Allah is the best thing in the whole world without doubt. Those who pray the salah, even though you miss now and then, as long as your niyat is clear. Those who help the poor, the widows, the orphans, the needy, whether they could manage to go for Umrah, who fasted in Ramadan, and were generally good people. And the main thing there is La ilaha illallah, because your deeds are only accepted if it is combined with La ilaha illallah. If you don't have the Tawheed, if you don't have La ilaha illallah, your deeds got no weight on the day of judgment. So those whose book of deeds are nice and heaven, even if you have given half a date in charity, then Allah through His grace and mercy gives you your book of deeds in your right hand, and you become part of the Ashab al-Yamin and the part of the Ashab al-Jannah al-Firdaus, the companions of paradise. But if your deeds, you haven't really bothered about the next life, you don't care about the next life, you don't even believe in the life after death, you're part of the people like the Epstein files, or you're part of a member of government and you've been doing crime and corruption, and you're only interested in enriching yourself and your family. If that is the life that you have been leading, then remember that your home, you have decided that the blazing fire is your home, and that is a decision that you have made. So please don't delay. Get your personal copy of the Quran today. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.